educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now, Basil Chapman.
Hi everyone, Basil Chapman here on this 20th day of April. This is Wednesday. Oh, before I forget, I will not be here at all Thursday. Tomorrow I'm out. I will do my newsletter. I hope I'm able to do my newsletter. I usually manage to get that out, but I will not be here for my show. That's Thursday. I'll be back Friday. Now, what we're looking at is the Dow's up 193 at 35,105. See this pattern here? That's what I call the falling axe, a pattern you'll never see in any technical analysis book, but it is an incredible pattern. If I had called it the declining, expanding cone formation, probably would get a mention, but not if you nickname something. Well, it is an incredible pattern. Look at this. Been showing it for about 3 weeks now, and I said, if we get this pattern where there's a peak D, E, or F, and you start to make lower highs and much lower lows, and then the price forms a base, starts to turn around, and then breaks the trend line, the upper declining trend line, there could be a one-to-one move in the same time frame and in the same price movement to the upside as a cup formation forms. Inversion of the dreaded H pattern. So what are we looking at here? Let me just put that over there. So here we've got the dreaded H pattern, or the inverse Y, which is what's forming right there. It's actually the second one. There's a smaller one, almost like a miniature cup and handle, not one of my favorite patterns, but the breakout pattern is. And most importantly, if we go sharply above 35,372, that's a big if, but let's just say the high already today is 35,258. 130 points off a breakout from that left side high of around about the 28th of March. Well, if there is a push above it, there's another technique that I use called the Chapman wave cup and ladle formation. And that says if you break out above the left side high in the cup formation without getting to a D, if you're only at a B or a C, expect that you're going to go much higher to a D and then come back and retest the lip on the left side. That would be 35,372. But the day is really young. Let's face it, what are we? 39 minutes into the trading day, so anything can happen. We've already seen it. I actually would have preferred if we were down earlier, and right now we're having this big rally, and it encompassed all the other areas as well. Now, talking about this pattern, keep in mind that we're looking at this pattern here, the falling axe formation. Look, long handle, axe blade, expanding blade, and it breaks out. If, in fact, we see IBM continue up. I'd mentioned this yesterday. I was looking at it and I said, well, look at this pattern. If we get yet another falling axe formation in IBM, there's the pattern I drew. And look, there's the expanding axe formation. That's the expanding cone. And we broke out. IBM is up $6.44 at 135.60. It was struggling down the 126 area. Yesterday had a really nice, good green candle. Look at this huge gap. Can the gap be filled? Well, now I have a whole thing about gaps. I didn't even realize until recently that in the general marketplace it's called the 3-gap rule. I've always said I've got a rule that says within the 1 to 3 period, after a huge gap up or down, there are 3 aspects that I look at very closely. I'm not going to go into it now. Maybe Technical Friday we'll talk about it. But in the meantime, look what's happened. You've got leadership here. And I'd say this a long time ago. Are we going to eventually? We've seen it in Cisco. We've seen it in Microsoft. We've seen it in Adobe. We've seen it in so many of the stocks that they took that the year 2000 plummet and just got smashed. And then they They morphed into incredible companies. Is IBM finally with the cloud? And now they don't have all the technical aspects. I think they sold the Lenovo, I think it is. Are they now a new company? We'll see, because you've got this monthly IBM. Let me just pull this across right here. You've got this monthly, I should call it a Chapman inside track repellent zone, but instead I just wanted to join all the recent highs. But I'm going to go back to the technical aspect that says right here. Yes, so I'm going to take this line right here, and I'm going to take that line, and I'm going to put that inside, and I'm going to say, there's your Chapman inside track repellent zone, which has been a repellent zone for about almost a year. If finally IBM in April, going into May, is able to trade on a weekly basis sharply above the high of 145.99. Whoa, that's a long way to go. That was made back in June of 2021. That's not just this one right here, not this high of January of this year of 142.20, which is enough as it is. But if we are starting to see IBM trading there, that's a breakout of significant proportions. And that says in the year 2022, finally the quarters that IBM for years and years and years and years, decades in fact, has been talking about a turnaround. I remember being, well, where's the academy up in New York? That's, remember, Bud Rolfs went there. Why am I forgetting the name right now? Is that a military academy, a Navy academy? I'm just blanking out right now. I remember being at a wedding up there, and West Point. Thank you very much. We always have. So the folks in the den are just amazing. Boom, 2 seconds you get the answer. I remember being at a wedding, and there was someone who. It was at part of West Point. I guess they rented. I don't know how it worked. Anyway, beautiful view of the valley and the river and all that stuff. And I remember meeting someone, and he said, I was chatting, and I don't usually do this, but for some reason it came up that he was at IBM. I said, oh, IBM, aren't they going into the cloud or something like this? Well, I'm talking about maybe 10 years, 12 years ago. And he said, oh, yeah, this is a big turnaround for IBM. I said, gee, I think I've heard that before a couple of times. But maybe this is it. All right, we don't know. So let's just say this is a big thing, and it's a big boost for the Dow, now 213, just on its own independent track. The general is leading the pack. Maybe the soldiers will follow. We'll see. All right, got that out the way. I did that in the update. I better just do this again. So we've got the Dow up 207 at 35,117. Really nice action. You've got the S&P. Was running very nicely. Well, it was weak, then it was running very nicely, and now it's only up a dollar at 44.63. This is a lagging indicator. It's the 500. It's not the Dow 30, which is really, they should call it not the industrials, but the Dow 30. Now, what is, oh, that's right, of course. They took over Red. They bought Red Hat. IBM Cloud Business Essential, the Red Hat portion of the business. Yes. Nice. So the S&P is lagging, and the QQQ, well, you can understand why, is down 3. I'll be back in a moment. Basil Chapman.
Are you looking for a way to consistently add winning trades to your portfolio? Tom O'Brien is here to help. Tom O'Brien has been successfully trading markets for over 30 years. A frequent contributor to TD Ameritrade Network and CNBC, Tom O'Brien founded TFNN over 20 years ago to help educate investors just like you. Tom's daily market newsletter, Market Insights, is published every morning when the markets open to give you the competitive informational edge you need to succeed. These newsletters are packed full of Tom's advanced technical analysis and are geared to deliver comprehensive strategies for a successful portfolio. Get Tom O'Brien's newsletter, Market Insights, today, and try all of our products and newsletters 30 days risk-free with our money-back guarantee at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Hi folks, just real quickly with the questions that came in, and I didn't quite finish them yesterday. So the FXI, that's the China, this is the big cap ETF, large cap ETF, iShares, FXI is the symbol, trading at 30.53, down 51. It had this big island reversal, what it always does because it's an overseas stock, back around about the 14th, 15th of last month. Gaps up, goes to peak A, peak B, C, D, and E, and then it pulls back sharply in an arch formation. So there are a number of the Chinese stocks. If you want to look, a question came in about Baidu. Look, Baidu's the same thing. Yes, Baidu has this big gap up. It pulls back after peak B, and it's just pulling back. I still say we have enough problems as it is. If you're interested in the Chinese stocks, you really have to do your homework, because I don't know why you want to put yourself out on a limb there unless you're short. And most of them have been great shorts. So in the meantime, Baidu is just struggling at 125. It's just down, it's stuck between 133 and 116. Breaks under 116. It goes back and retests the low. Oh, which reminds me, I've got a question coming. Oh, first of all, someone says, you bashing of IBM, I find rather amusing. This is one of the companies actually with earnings. No. I don't know how some people listen to the show. They have a bias in their minds, and then whatever is said, if it doesn't fit their bias, they'll still put their bias in. I have said for ages that IBM has done every single thing wrong. And for about the last 3 months, or even maybe 6 months, I've been saying, I think IBM will be the last of the really big caps from the Dow type stocks that turns around and actually starts to improve. That's what I was saying. And that's why when I was interviewed by Tom last night, I was showing this pattern. And I was pointing out that if there was a break to the upside, that would be quite significant. And that's my thinking right now. In fact, looking at leaps, if there is a partial filling of the gap that we're seeing right now, I would be considering, for people who are biased towards wanting to buy IBM, rather look at the leaps, just go right out, buy the leaps for way less money, and you'll be able to make some really good money if everything comes to pass and it finally, in the monthly chart, breaks out. Okay, got that out the way. Next thing was, within the context of the different uranium stocks, I just be a little careful. you can go to one. We looked at this yesterday. UUU. Remember the left side, right side? I talk about the match of the vertical. So this is I don't know if there is a technical indicator for it, but just do a vertical analysis. And if you look at around about the 21st of March in Energy Fuels Inc. uranium, you'll see that peak E right there, around about 10, I'm just guessing 1070. It pulls back, makes the cup formation, and then rallies to a new recovery high, a peak F/D, which is now peak F, and a leg D in the weekly chart, and underneath the major high of peak D way back in 2021 at about the 1130 area. So this rally is way weaker, which is the reason why I raised the stop in our uranium position, so that we had got in nicely. We had a profit that we took, and then I had to make sure that I wasn't going to sit there as it pulled back very sharply, because you can see on a percentage basis, UUU could test the 850s. It's at 934. That's a big percentage. I mean, if you're talking about a stock that goes from 93 to 87, and you're up in the hundreds, then sometimes you give it a little bit of room. But when you're dealing with a really low-priced stock, it could pull back underneath support and go to 820. I just wasn't prepared to do. This is not what we had. We had something else. So I wasn't prepared to do that. So I'm being really strict with our stops, and we have no short positions, only long positions. So far, I mean, even on the day, we've got some that are up almost 1%, some of that up more than 1.5%. One's down about 0.19. We've got some really nice. Our down position is really nice. So we have positions that are in fact working out quite well. But at the same time, the only thing I've given quite a bit more room is the gold stock that we have, because that we got in nicely. It's doing very well. It did have a sharp move up and then a big give back yesterday. But I want to try to keep that. That's the gold stock. In the den, I'm just looking in the Tiger YouTube question about BX, or was it a statement? I love BX, the Blackstone Group financial sector, mergers and acquisitions. Just not in it right now because it's in a trading band, and that monthly chart says, you got to watch this real closely. It's trading at 120.70, up $3.22 on the day, made a peak D in the day. It did an arch formation, didn't retest the low. That's good. It's making the lowercase h to a lowercase m pattern in the weekly. I just think this is the one. So there are a couple of things I need to talk about, and I'll put BX into the pie, because I'm talking about chart patterns. What I've said for some time is there is a chance, and it's only a chance, we don't know, but with such bearish news out there, and with so many people, really wonderful technicians, I'm hearing people talk really bearish, and I'm saying, I got to respect that, but my work so far is really not bearish. It says we could have a rotational correction, and at the same time, if there is a rotational correction, maybe we usurp the downside energy as well as the upside energy, go sideways for a period of time until we are ready to see leadership. And that might come out after Netflix, after this all resolves itself. If the QQQ, I'm going to mix things up a little bit, because I do want the Qs to be at least participating. They don't have to lead, but they should participate, and we'll see what happens. So here is the pattern that goes from a lowercase h. Let me just show you the pattern. The lowercase h holds the left side low, and then doesn't rally to new highs, but in fact turns around and makes another H pattern. So it looks like a lowercase m in a rectangle sideways move, trapped between the highs and the lows, and that's kind of what I'm seeing. If Blackstone Group, BX, trades for 1 week under 98 in the next 3 to 4 weeks, I have to consider that whole financial sector, and I don't believe it's in the XLF, but I'm putting it as part of the XLF only for now in my thinking. Blackstone, Great Tell. Yes, BLK is the other one. So this is the Blackstone Group. BLK is, there we go. Where did I type it? Wrong place. Come. I want this right now. BLK is the BlackRock Inc. financial sector, and that one's weakening, and that's the way that I'm looking. That one, I believe, is part of the XLF, the financial sector, and this one is telling me this is a very different chart pattern because the other one has real estate and other things. This is mostly in the financial and asset management sector. So I'm looking at this and saying, okay, BlackRock is different, trading BLK 701.77, up 20 cents. This one's struggling. Made a peak D, pulls back, made a peak E. And look at this. This is the pattern we're talking about. Wow, I think, why did I just do that this morning in a position? Yeah, there it is in the weekly chart. 959, way back in 2021. I think it must have been September. And then it comes back into November, 973. And look how it fails. Look how weak it is. I'll be back in a moment.
Are you having fun trading the markets, but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other tigers and tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
So let me just do this. Wells Fargo, the question is, Wells Fargo, is it real or is it Memorex? I think that the financials are in a little bit of a problem here, a little quandary. I think that the TLT is going to have some kind of a bounce. And I suspect that the yields coming down is going to impact the financials just as they were ignoring the rally in yields for the last 2 weeks. Why would they accept it right now? So there's a nice move up $1 at 48.84. I just think it's going to be stuck in a range. It could have a short-term nice bounce, could be a nice percentage bounce. I'm just looking at the bigger picture. As I said, Bank of America is one that came out with much better Oops, I wrote and typed in the wrong place. Bank of America right here. BAC, which we took really great profits in it. We can get back. I don't know if it's really going to move. At any point you can get back in. I just think it's kind of stuck for the moment, and therefore I'm looking at it as needing more time. And that just so I can answer the question in a way now, because the question came in, do I see anything in the weekly and the monthly charts that changed the conclusion I gave after the retest of the low in the Dow at, let me just do this right now, INDU, of testing the whole low 32,000s. And what I had said is, based on my monthly charts, the S&P should go to a C, a higher peak, C, and then a D this in 2022. I don't know how low it'll go, but because there are so many things out there that could really dislocate the markets, I said that, having mentioned that a long time ago, take money off. This was in the fall. I said, start taking some money off, and you can put it back in increments over a period of time. And then I said, earlier this month, I said, I would like very much to say, I would take one of those tranches that you put in, if you were listening to what I was saying. I'm talking about your IRA. This is the long-term money, and just keep it there, because at any point we could have a 2,000, 2,500, even a 3,000 point down market slide with all the news that's out there. But my bias is still that we are in long positions. I like what I'm seeing. It's got to be very selective, but don't ignore the fact that at some point the bad news inevitably comes in and just smacks you on the nose when you least expect it. It doesn't when everybody's talking about the bear market and lower lows and this is the end of time and whatever. So I'm saying I have to wait for the end of the month. I can't talk about the candle of April in the middle of April. I have to wait for the month to conclude in the first day of May, and that tells me it's done, and where are we? So far, look at this, the Dow. Are you telling me that we could have a war? We could have inflation at its highest level in decades and decades. We can have crude oil at its highest level since the whole thing of 2008, also Russia, and all the other negatives. And yet look where the Dow is right now. It's actually more than halfway from the top of 36,952 to the low of 32,272. All I can say is this market is resilient. There's no other place for money to go, and money's coming out of bonds. Where do you think it's going to go? It's going to have to go somewhere. So this is the way I'm looking at it. So that's my answer is, I still feel that it's good to have cash ready. We've done that for my subscribers. We had built up a big cash position. We've been putting it to work lately. Not afraid to. We're in under the radar areas. We're in the liquor and marijuana sector. We're in the tractor area. I mean, we're in the we still have our DBA, the agricultural area. We're in gold. We're in the recovery economy for the summer. So we're in the brokerage area. I mean, we're in there, and I'm prepared to get short. I've got a list all ready to go short. I just don't want to mix my thinking right now, because so far I see enough strength that I want to see this through maybe for the rest of the week, and then we'll make some decisions. So you're looking at the S&P, a nice breakout of this. Not a great, this is a very deep falling axe formation. It needs a lot of work to get the NAG deep cross positive. Stochastic's only at 19%. That's got a long way to go. So this is a very mixed market, and therefore I'm saying no change whatsoever. Short term, bullish. Long term, bullish. In the intermediate term, I'm saying have cash ready, because anything can happen at any point. But you've got to be very selective. People are talking about things like the Mosaic company. Yeah, I think some of these are topping. Just made a peak F in the daily. Monthly chart, a weekly chart is a doji candle. Phosphates, fertilizers. Look at this. XOM. A lot of people have asked about XOM. So look, it made a peak D under the previous peak D. That says to me, just be careful, because it's under duress at this point. It's still bullish, but it's bumping into a cap, and it should have some kind of a pullback. Look at CVX. This is Chevron. Look at this double top, 174.76 on March the 10th. It dropped sharply to the 155. That's 20 points. I mean, what is that? That's about 12%. And then it rallies up to where? 174.54. This is 12 cents away from the previous high, 13 cents from a new all-time high for the weekly chart to go to an F. But peak E in the weekly, peak D, a leg D in the monthly. It just needs a little bit of a digester phase. It's still the place that is really the place to go is the oil sector, as long as oil's holding so high. But it looks like it needs a rest. Oh, look, and once again, we can do this vertical test. Just call it a vertical test. Here it is. A vertical test sounds like something you get if you're about to go into the army. You get a vertical test. So what we've got here, look at the technicals. Not nearly as good, not bad, but not nearly as good as it was around about the 10th of March. That reminds me, what was it? Oh, here it is. Look what I did. Here is the 2-minute chart. I'll use this one. Yeah, 2-minute chart. Look at this. 2-minute chart of the E-mini. Not the right one. Is this it? I hate when I do this. I start working, I believe very strongly that no matter how long you've been in a particular area or whatever it is, to keep the mind active, you have to constantly learn. I'm always learning. I love when I have a chance to listen to the hosts here at TFNN. Everybody has either one or two or three, but they have a number of wonderful techniques that they always use that you always sit and say, oh, that is really good. So I'm always trying to learn. So what I've done is, look, the vertical line test at 8 o'clock, the S&P went to, let's call it 44.74. And then it pulls back. It makes the rectangle, the narrow rectangle formation that also forms a bowl formation. And it makes a peak D right there at 9 o'clock exactly at 44.80.50. Look at the technicals, not anywhere as good. And look how quickly the stochastic ran over 80% and then failed. Oh, wait a minute. And then it makes a higher high right at 9:32, just as the market was opening, pops to 44.84.25. And look at the technicals. Once again, not really good. And what does it do? It slumps down to the 52.50 area, and now it's gone peak A and leg B in a recovery pattern. So these verticals, learn how to use them. They're really important. I'll be back. Basil Chapman does at 301. S&P's up 15. Nice.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Folks, we're back and we're looking at Devon Energy. DVN is a symbol up $1.53 at 64.63. So this is a pattern that I drew in some time ago because we were considering for subscribers. I was considering this. We actually went into MRO, Marathon Oil, for nice gains, but got out so early and I never got back in. Terrible mistake. I always apologize to subscribers for that. That was really dumb. So this is a technique that I've developed over the years. It's called the Chapman Wave Cup and Ladle Breakout. I was talking about that just a moment ago. And this had it perfectly in the monthly chart, a monthly chart. 45.48 was the high with a silent doji turnaround. This is called the Chapman Wave silent doji. That was around about April, I think it was. No, that was July of 2018. And what happened is it pulls back to $3.64 March of 2023. Oh, man, $3.64, March of 2020. And then what does it do? It goes peak A, peak B. And then I noticed that the pattern was forming the pattern that I love, which is the number of bars on the left side to the low could, in fact, turn around to be a matching move to the right side if certain conditions were met. But as it was moving along, I noticed that, in fact, this bar right here, this candle of the 6th of June really was the true plumb line low. But that's okay. I had drawn this in a while back, and what I also drew was a Chapman Wave inside wedge target resistance line. I'm making this is the green dashed line right here. And that said, by, here we go, by November of 2021, it should test in the same number of bars, the left side, high of 45.48 down to 364, and get back to the 45s by November of 2021. Well, it did that in November. It went to 45.56, 8 cents higher. Pull back, because that's what you expect in the Chapman Wave Cup and Ladle breakout pattern, that it breaks above and then it retests the left side lip high. That was 45.48. Well, it went all the way down. It doesn't look like it here, but believe me, if you're in it, going from 45 to 35, $10 was about 17% decline. But that same month comes back nicely and the following month breaks out. And now what we've got is a pattern that says we could have the next target of the 29th, that was May of 2015, at 69.42. That would be the next target on the upside. And it also says the whole area between 59 and 57 is probably a really good cushion. So that's Devon Energy. I was asked about that. I just thought I'd do that because I remembered that I had this pattern, and I actually had forgotten about it until I looked at the chart and said, oh, yes, I did all the work on this. So the whole thing about the Chapman Wave methodology is it does take a little bit of work. It takes a little bit of work because you need to put the notations in. Almost every single software package allows you to put the notation. Some don't have the cup, but you don't have to use the semicircle. You can make like a V-shaped pattern with straight lines. So that's important. So a couple of questions came in here. Let me just see. Could I look at QS? Yeah, so QS is not SQ, which is the former, it's called Block now, a former Square. This is, QS is a company, I wrote it in here in great detail. There it is. Oh, no, did you ask me about, yes, you asked me about QS. I'm looking at SQ, Block formerly Square. This is, I made a peak D and the same thing. This is the same pattern, but it never broke to the upside. It went to a D and failed. Right there, see, 152.70 was the upside target. It went to 149 round number high, and here it is at 119. You wanted QS. So the reason why I was talking about that is same letters, just reversed, but there's a different QuantumScape Core, next generation solid state lithium metal batteries for EVs. I have to tell you, when I read the stuff, I say, oh man, we've got to have something there. We've got to, and then you look at the chart and say, well, it needs a lot of work. It once went to the 130s, and then it had a little bit of a pullback to 13, double bottom, 13.21, 13.23. That's the exact opposite of what we were looking at. This is the vertical on the upside. Just remember, vertical test, VT, all right? So in Feb, it has a low of 13.21, bounces, comes back down, retests successfully. It didn't break it. It held it above by 2 cents. That's a successful trade. And it says you could now be looking at a pattern, and we've seen these tests of the three lows. We've seen many on the upside that failed. Now it's the upside U-shaped pattern. This is very positive, and it was very positive. And what did it do? It ran all the way to the 22 area, under the 200-period moving average, and now it's trading at 17.24. All I can say is, I have a lot of trouble with these that sound fantastic in my ignorance. Oh man, lithium, I love lithium. Metal batteries, oh, I love EVs. Oh man, next generation solid state. All I can say is that the market is not accepting it as viable, not yet, and keep it on your list. Or you could do what some people do. They say, you know what, I'm going to set aside X amount of percentage of my portfolio for either biotech, that you never know what's going to happen with those biotech, or something. Treat EVs like biotech right now. Just put it in there. There was another one, PLTA. I hope I remember the number. I remember symbols, and now I've forgotten it. PTRA. Got it. There it is. Proterra in common stock, buses. They have EV solutions for commercial applications. Oh, it looked fantastic. It streamed up to the 30s. Also made a peak D, and then it whoops, and then peak A, single leg up, Eiffel Tower, comes down, and now it's trading at $7.02. So just put these in your locker, in the drawer, hold them if you want, and just wake up one day and say, you know, I haven't looked at, somebody mentioned QS, or somebody mentioned PTRA, Proterra Inc., common stock. Where is it now? Oh, what a lovely surprise. I bought it at $7, and now it's trading at $16.30. That's what you want. All right? But if on a trading basis, this is just tradable. Yep, in the 650, you can trade it for the rectangle to move up to the 7, maybe 65 area. Then maybe it just pulls back again, or maybe this is the time it breaks out. So QS in the same category. I can only give you an opinion on the short term, and the short term says right now, I wouldn't touch it. I want some basis to say that it's forming some kind of a support area. And then I'll treat it as a trade, maybe at 16.88. It's a good buy. And what do? I wait for it to climb. If it gets to the 19s, I'd raise the stop and just let it go wherever it is. It could fail yet again. All right, next question is, let's see. Over there. Okay. Oh, the TLT. I thought I did that. So TLT on the downside made a little doji candle first. The first doji candle is after all of this. It hasn't made a low with a doji candle like this in a long time, since around about February, which didn't work. So this is just the start with a low yesterday of 122.56. 119.72. That's how quickly these things move. And the TBT on the upside, remember I said this is the doji candle, should take it right down and we should start to see it maybe trade in the 23s. It's at 24.60, down 37. I think there is a bit of a trade in the TLT.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
So Marriott, question about Marriott. Marriott MAR trading up 4.16 at 190. One of my favorites. Look at this beautiful trend line. Look at this Chapman Wave inside track repellent zone. Testing it. Is this a brand new A or an old F? Is it about to turn down? Well, the stochastic's at 93%. The MACD's expanding. So it says this internal strength here. This is the daily chart. Most importantly, what we're looking at is this is part of, if you've tried to get a booking at a hotel recently, it's tough. It is really tough. So I think that this is the outdoor the expansion of outdoor activity, etc., and travel plus jets. So I want to look at, yes, I love this action in Marriott. I've been talking to subscribers for I don't know how long. We wanted to own it, and we haven't got in. There's another hotel that we wanted to get in today. We've had before. I want to get back in. I just need to let the day go through, and we'll see what happens. So ARKK, the question is, where do I add? I just be real careful. ARKK is Kathy Wood's the ARK Innovation ETF. I would much prefer, instead of going to ARKK, if you want risk, why not look at the TQQ, 3 times long, the Qs. I would much rather be in that because it eliminates some of those really nefarious stocks that you just have no idea. This way you got the whole potpourri of the Qs. Take a smaller position and you can add to it and you get your kicks because it's 3 times up or down. Maybe that's the way, but I'd just be real careful. If you're in it, I wouldn't add until I see strength. That might come maybe by Monday. I'll talk about it on Friday when I'm back. Remember, I'm not here tomorrow. I'm out. I'll try my best to do my newsletter. I probably will, but I'll be back here on Friday. So with that said, I'm going to hand you over to Larry Pesavento. He's got a wonderful show coming up, as always. Great programming here. Larry, you get Thinkorswim, you get Steve Rhodes, Dave White, Tom O'Brien. Check out my opening call, my daily newsletter. We've had some really nice positions there. And even today, they're working really well. Number up more than 1%. Have a great day.